I cannot hear you.
What about now? You cannot?
Yes, now yes.
Okay, yes. Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. My name is Patrick Cassivian, and I will be teaching the second part of week 7 to 12. And the theme I will cover would be unstructured data analytics, Hadoop and MapReduce, data management and analytics with Big SQL, Spark, Spark SQL, and the machine learning library on Spark. So if you have any question, I know I won't be in the first part of, but still, if you have question, you can still ask me question. I still checking every week, looking at the course, looking at discussion, and before week 7. So if anything particular you want to ask me about those different content, do not hesitate to email me or even in discussion because I still involved. I still look at everything. Good luck, everyone, and I'm looking forward to week 7 to start with to teaching and we also learn from you guys and participate and engage in class discussion and the teaching. Thank you.
Yelena?
Hi all, and looks like I see a lot of familiar names. So I've been a teaching assistant for many years, maybe like 8 or 9 years. Yep. So I look forward to work with every one of you, and I'm so happy to see familiar names as well. All right.
Thank you. Linus?
Sure. Hey, good evening, everyone. Once again, I'm Linesh Dave, and yeah, I would be partnering with Yelena and that'll be a TA for both the sections. And I'm really excited, to be here and trying to help you through this course. So, let me congratulate you first of all for reaching at this point in your journey in completion of your certification or degree in data analytics. Trust me, not too long ago, I was at the same point as you are, and so I can resonate with your feelings. So congratulations and good luck to you all. Look forward to working with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Linus. So as you can see, we have, you are going to get help in Canon software with someone which has broad professional experience, but in addition was shaped as a professional by our program, our graduate. Both of them, Yelena and Linus, are graduate of our program and department. So with no more, I'm going to the today agenda, which is consists in introduction. As you can see, a lot of points. So we are going to try to get through all these points as soon as possible, so you have the opportunity to ask questions. In the meantime, the plan is to have your question at the end of the after covering all these points. But if you have a question and you are afraid you are going to forget, you can just put the question in the chat. Don't hesitate to post your question in the chat. The first thing to do in this course is to get consensus of what the course is about, because since we are using the name big data, as you know, big data is widely used and let's say a little abused in the meaning what to understand by this. So in this first week in the discussion topic, we have to get consensus when we refer to big data, what is this about? But moreover than this is going to give us understanding what is the course about. Looking to the discussion up to now, not the discussion, but the introduction of many of you, I can say that I feel the same way like everyone around what you understand by big data. By big data, for 10 years, every time we talk about the big data, this is Hadoop. Let's say this is old conception. Big data has evolved in the last 10 years, and it's not just Hadoop. Even though Hadoop was the most valuable technology tool to start us in this subject, today this has evolved, advanced, and we have to be up to speed how this subject has been advancing. Um, I posted several links in the announcement area, just to get the, let's say, the most important report from Gartner, and you can see that the term big data is not anymore on the hype. It has been on the hype for 10 years. So it's very important we understand why is big data not anymore in the hype. Why? Because when we have a technology which is on the hype cycle, that means that the expectation are above for what the technology can deliver. And this is not anymore the case in big data. In big data, the technology already has delivered up to the expectation, which is the Hadoop. So the company who has invested money in technology like Hadoop already are getting return of investment. That's why big data is not anymore on the hype. They are new term evolving related with the subject we are studying, which are on the hype, which is machine learning. So two new terms, smart data and machine learning, are coming to substitute big data, which is not anymore in the hype circle. So, and when we go to what is big data, you very well know that there is no formal definition. We just have several characteristics when we refer to big data, which is volume, velocity, veracity, value, and more we as we go on and on and on. So since there is not formal definition, what we are going to understand by big data, this is very important in order to feel what we are going to study in a course which is named Big Data Analytics. What we are going to understand, even though there is not formal definition, what is widespread understanding. The characteristics are okay, but this is not definition. And when we refer to big data, we mostly refer to when the difficulty arises to deal with the data, to capture them, to storage them, to visualize them, to share this data, when the existing tool and software are not capable to deal, then we refer to data that is big. So the data is bigger that the technology can help us to store and deal with this data. In general, very simplistic definition I've been hearing all over in the data science board is when you cannot deal with the data on your personal computer, when you have to go to above to the cloud, then this is big data. So it's related, of course, with volume, with velocity, with veracity, with all these characteristics, but it's more than this. And we are going to discuss this over this first week. I'm going to let you give your opinion and contribution in the discussion forum. And we, at the end of the first week, I'm totally certain that we are going to concur to something what we are going to understand. Just at this point, I want you to keep in mind, big data is not just Hadoop. Hadoop is already history. Hadoop was very helpful, but today to solve the problem of big data related with veracity and stream of data, Hadoop cannot help us. So we have to go to other technology, of which one of them is Spark, and we are going to dedicate around 4 weeks on this tool. So besides this complexity in defining big data, we have to think about also about the skills we have to build in this class. So keep in mind, the name of the course is Big Data Analytics. That means you cannot separate the three words. It's not just big data, it's analytic for big data. And you must understand that the main word in these three words title is the analytic. And we are going to rely on your knowledge up to now in the program and expand the evolution to what are the big data and the tools which are going to help us to deal with this data. And I guess you are going to have, let's say, a very rewarding time in this course when we start with a different tool. Now, in this slide is just the evolvement of big data, which is related with volume, very clearly presented in three different, let's say, period of time. Of course, we are already above the last one, which is the established big data technology of NoSQL technology, which in parallel with Hadoop can help us to manage big data. Now, in order to manage big data is the first part of the problem, is to store and manage and have access to the data. The most important part we have to study is how to get inside of this data, which is the main, let's say, purpose of the program of the data analyst and data scientist. The main task is to get inside from the data. For me, this representation of this pyramid is one very nice graphical presentation to get better understanding when we refer to big data, what type of data we are talking about. You have read already and you know that we are talking about structured and unstructured data, but in this representation I have additional transition because not everything is like white and black. We have gray layer, right? So that is the purpose of this two additional layer between unstructured and structured data, which is quasi-structured and semi-structured. So let me explain why this is important to keep in mind when you do any project. The first thing you have to understand is what is the type of data you are working with as a data analyst, data scientist, and then you will have, given that evaluation, you will get better understanding which method to use and which tool will be more suitable to deal with this type of data. So in the realm of all data, structured data represent only 20%. Everything else is the gray area, which is unstructured with the three different, let's say, variation. So the big amount of data is the unstructured data consisting of semi-structured, quasi-structured, and unstructured. So when we refer to unstructured, this is 80% of the data. So keep in mind, if our course is big data analytics, we are mainly going to focus in the data in this gray area, because this is the 80% of the data and the most value is in this type of data, starting with unstructured. Unstructured, totally unstructured, this is just free text document, which can be, let's say, record, insurance claim record, or patient record from the medical doctor, and it can be text document, PDF, image, video. That is what we understand totally unstructured data. Then it comes quasi-structured data, which we can understand the web click stream. They can contain valuable information to understand the search of different information in the web. but they differ for the totally unstructured data, which is free text, images, and video, because you still can have some, let's say, some form, uh, some form to some form to get inside for this data, and the tools are different, as well as the semi-structured data. To semi-structured data, we refer when we talk, for instance, about HTML file, and this HTML file, they have some schema, even not the structured schema of table, which usually we think on in the relational databases, but there is still some schema which can help us easier, let's say, easier to get some insight. We don't have to deal with something which is like free text in the document. That's why I present this for your reflection. This is just first view to this game, and I will be posting this slide presentation in the classroom. Every time you get a chance, try to look and try to think about different example of this type of data, because this is going to be very helpful for you to be successful when you deal with your project in the class. So here is one structured, totally structured table. Here is semi-structured, which is HTML text. You can have click data stream or totally unstructured video like here, and many other examples. I encourage you to think about example of different data and try to think why we have to have different approaches to deal with them. And you will see, of course, this along the course, but it's very important from the same beginning, you start reflecting on this and get better understanding. So here is something which I'm going to show next, which is the next step. After we have all this traditional, let's say, for many years, reference to what is big data by the characteristic and the data which goes beyond our capability of methods, tools, and software to deal with them. So we refer to them to big data. Very naturally, evolvement of what is big data is the new term smart data. Not so new. It has been around for 2 years. And here in this link, I have very nice presentation, Siemens presentation, what is the Siemens understanding of smart data. I'm going to open the link for you. And let me see if I can share it, because now you don't see this. Let's see. Share. Exactly, this is not coming. Okay, let me see if I can stop sharing. That's not, let me open here if possible. No, it's not going to be possible to open here. So this link is going to be posted in the classroom, and I would like to hear your reflection. One of the things we have to discuss in first week is what is smart data. As I mentioned, this is natural evolution of what is big data, and some people are referring, oh, smart data, this is what is coming from the smart devices. Not at all. In the realm of big data, we refer to smart data as the, let's say, the evolution of the data, and this is mostly referred to what we can do with the data. If we are referring to that we are going to get the most important characteristic for the data analyst and data scientist is to get value from the data, because everything data analyst and data scientist does is to get uh, is to evaluate the value of the data, get insight. So smart data is exactly in this direction. What we can do with the data and how we can get value from the data. So one of the example is in this link. You can research and find many more example and share what you understand, and we discuss more in depth what smart data is about. Um, I want to proceed to the next part, which is very important. After having trying to define what analytic for big data will be in this class, I want to focus also in another point before going in more detail. This course, like all courses in the Master of Science in Data Analytics, is competence-based course. What that means? That means that we are not going to finish like the traditional course, which is you read the material and then we examine you by exam. We are going to go one step further. After you have overview and read the assigned reading and grasp the topic of the week, you will do hands-on assignment using different tools, so you will prove that you understand the concept by applying this concept using different tools. The tools, of course, are software tools, and this is eminent for data analytics. We cannot do anything without software today in data analytics, data science. So as you understand, the assignment will be only a few of them, four major assignment with some small break on them, like tutorials in order to get prepared for the major assignment. And in them, you will apply what you have studied. So that is the point of competence-based, project-based program. And you will have the opportunity applying the concept to learn different software tools, which are very important for any data scientist, data analyst, and of course to get a job. So just I'm opening quick parenthesis here. I'm reading your introduction, and some of you are worried that you don't, after finishing the program, you don't have experience to show in your resume. Actually, what you are doing in all the courses, these are small projects, hand-on, and you can reflect them in your resume as a, even though they are in the classroom, these are practical projects culminating with the capstone project in the last class, which is the Data 670, and you can reflect them in your resume as a hands-on experience. You are finishing this program with some hands-on experience, very valuable. And I have heard of our graduates that reflecting this way in the resume, good number of them got very, very good and rewarding job in the subject of data analytics. Also, you can get a help. UMUC has a career center which can help you writing your resume. And I think for you in 650 is already time to reshape your resume because you are very close to the, let's say, you are closer to the end of the program than anyone else. So more, in addition to that, the conception of the program developed this way, and of course, a reflection is Data 650. We rely in advisory board for industry from with representative from Lockheed Martin, Booz Allen, U.S. government, IBM, and many more. Let's say company which are heavily employ data analysts and data scientists, and moreover prepare them for future career. Their requirement is hands-on experience they are looking for two main characteristics. Preparing a professional which is relevant today, but also tomorrow. In order for you to be relevant for the company who is hiring you today and tomorrow, you have to have strong foundation, the conceptual foundation. And the second requirement is hand-on. So you already bring some hand experience because you already have, even not very in deep, but you have sufficient understanding of certain software tool. And this is very well evaluated of the industry. I just want to mention that working this way in the last 3 years, our program has received several important awards from technology organization like Newton and professional organization which are for continuous education like OPSIA. Just here is a mention for the last we received it in the past 2016. So you have to feel proud to be in a program which at least started this way. And we always are working to improve it, constantly improving, relying in student feedback, in industry feedback, in what is going on, and trying to do better. So this is in general very introductory. Now I want to go to what is the schedule very quick. Please overview the schedule in the syllabus. This is very similar to what you have in the syllabus, but I just added last column summarizing what we are going to, how we are going to do beside the additional, traditional weekly reading in course content, announcement in the announcement area, discussion board, assignment. We are going to have this, let's say, real-time contact with you, WebEx session, frequently during the semester. Why? Because since we have to rely in different software tool, we are going to try you to get through the tool as soon as possible and help you to grasp enough of the tool so you can apply what you have learned about the approaches to deal with big data. That's why I have summarized that we are going to have walkthrough in R, which is going to help you for the first assignment. We are going to have another WebEx, which is walkthrough for DashDB, which is when we are going to do the sentimental analysis using in-memory analytic tool like DashDB. We are going to have another walkthrough when we move to Hadoop, when you are going to do big SQL data management on top of Hadoop, get insight for your data. Also, we are going to help you you can break and grasp as soon as possible the minimum of the tool which is going to permit you to do the assignment. And then, of course, you have the open door to continue going more in deep as much as you want. And then we are going to have the Spark walkthrough and some Spark lecture and one Spark lecture online. So you can see that around half of the every second week at least we are going to have this type of meeting in which you not only going to listen what we are going to present, but also you will have the opportunity to read in real time. I just see a typo here. In DashDB is June 18, it's not July 18. I'm going to correct this before posting the presentation in the classroom. So let's summarize. We are talking about big data when the traditional tools are not going to help us to solve problem analytical problem with this data. So that means we are moving away from the traditional spreadsheet, from the data warehouse, where this is already, let's say, a very valid but almost historical approach to do analytic, because as you know, you have to request from the information technology department as a data analyst a new schema, and it's going to take between 3 and 6 months, a huge amount of money to build this new schema. So you rely on the information technology department for the data warehouse to get inside. The today world is different, very well presented with this sandbox. What that means? Data analysts get all the tools there, and according with the data and the problem he has to solve, he pick up the the tool which is more, let's say, suitable for the solution of this problem and for the type of the data. Sometimes not just a single tool and several tools, and making connection between all of them. So that is the today idea to work in big data, in which I very would like how it's represented in this graphical representation. So we have to the left what is the traditional approach, which means user determine the problem, the business problem, then IT is asked to build the information technology infrastructure to solve this problem, and then sales report or different type of customer surveys is run on this information technology infrastructure. This is traditional and still valid for some descriptive analytic. But if you want to do what is the today tendency for any business, predictive analytics, machine learning, you need totally different approach. And the approach is presented here to the right. You need that the information technology department deploy a platform with many different tools which will enable the data scientist creativity to pick up for this tool what is more suitable for the solution of the problem, and build predictive models to answer questions he has posed regarding the data, and to find insights which are going to give, let's say, advantage of the business which is working. So we are talking about totally different paradigm shift. The platform exists. So having said that, obviously we are going to have all this, what is the today reality in the cloud. Not the company you work today, but maybe tomorrow. Most of the company today are moving everything to the cloud, not just data, which was a couple of years ago. Today is the software in the cloud, is a platform as a service in the cloud. And in this course, the tools we are going to use, most of them are going to be in the cloud. You don't have to install anything in your computer. Besides RStudio you have from Data 630, everything else is going to be in the cloud as a service. We are going to use a platform as a service. And why businesses today are going to the cloud? Very obvious, because it's more efficient and more effective from any point of view. The company has to dedicate his resources to what is the strongest competences the company has, and then outsource everything to the cloud to other provider which can provide any software, any platform, even infrastructure as a service in the cloud with less expensive, and the company doesn't have to worry to have a license, updates, and is paying, let's say, many of the cloud services are elastic cloud, you pay for what you are using. You don't have this infrastructure which sit in your company, and it doesn't matter if you are using it 4 hour, 8 hour, 12 hour is there, and the money is spent in this infrastructure not only to build but to license, to update, and to maintain. So since cloud has proved already to be very efficient in, that's why all the company are moving to the cloud. And following this tendency, as preparing you for according to the requirement of the industry, you will be trained to use different tools in the cloud. I have several services here mentioned. Uh, so number one cloud provider is Amazon, but number one analytical provider is IBM and SAS. So for this course, since we are focusing in what is analytic, we have to convey someone which is top on analytic and is good in cloud service. So, and the choice is IBM. They are actually two choices which we might have. One is Microsoft and the other is IBM. So since IBM has more, let's say, the more of the tools we need for big data analytic in the same place, which is more reasonable for a single course 12 week. We don't want to go with one cloud and then another with different interface. We have settled to Bluemix, and that's why one of the first tasks, and many of you have completed already, is to sign up for Bluemix, and you get the free access for 6 months, which is academic access, and is giving you an access to huge amount of let's say, of services which you can use in the cloud. Let me just share very quick what you have in the Bluemix. Here is. So after you sign, you will see the day remaining. My account is in different stage like you. Yours should be close to 180. And the different services is, of course, this is very rich cloud for almost anything. We are going to focus only in these two group services, data analytic and Watson. And Watson, this is Watson Cognitive. It's not the Watson Analytic you use it in Data 610, which is Business Analytic 2. We are talking about here the Watson Cognitive, which is the new paradigm of computing. We are going to focus after week 2 at some point anything in the realm what is artificial intelligence, cognitive computing, and dealing with unstructured text data. And heavily here in data analytic, we are going to use Apache Spark, which is open source, and just it doesn't matter where you have it, is the Apache Spark open source product, is the same. We are going to use in-memory analytic -DB. We are going to use a service name inside for Twitter, and you're going to do very interesting stuff in assignment doing sentimental analysis and using different services in the cloud. This is just simple example. So when you go to Bluemix, don't get, let's say, afraid that there are so many different services and you have to know everything. We are going to use just a couple of them. And we are going to go slowly week by week. What is very important that you don't miss anything. And here I have just visualized what I was pointing to the cognitive Watson. We are going to focus week 2 and 3. and that is totally different what is Watson analytic you had in 630. Again, here we are talking about um, the paradigm shift, which using machine learning and artificial intelligence, this is a new paradigm of computer, sense, predict, and infer knowledge, very similar in the way we human do. So that's why Watson was able, let's say in 2011, to win the game, Jeopardy game, against the three better player in this game. Very similar to infer knowledge like a human. And you will like it. We are not going to have individual assignment on this, but we are going to work as a core, as a class. And I'm sure you are going to enjoy and learn more. And most of the thing we are going to do, we are going to do the minimum what is in this big data world and open for you the door wherever you want to go after that more on deep. Okay? Please don't hesitate to check the syllabus. Here is the summary of the grading for the course. You see how is the grade distribution on the different assignment, and the assignment are coming from very warming up from what you have studied already, culminating with more in-depth text analysis, since big data, let's say the big chunk of big data is text, so that we are starting with text analysis, then natural language processing, sentimental analysis, and so on and on and on. So the first assignment, let's say, is not, I mean, is culminating everything you have studied towards solving some practical problem in text analysis and going on to sentimental analysis, managing big data on Hadoop using big SQL, and then doing machine learning on two different data sets on Spark. Spark is the ultimate, let's say, data scientist tool today. Is almost replacing Hadoop in all the directions, since Hadoop proved that for is very good to store huge amount of data, but to do analytic on Hadoop was already evident that is very difficult unless you program some MapReduce work, which is very limited, let's say, um, very limited people can do, and quite complex. That's why on top of Hadoop were developed a huge number of different tools just to get uh, just to do some management and analysis on this flat data stored on Hadoop. And of course, the idea was brilliant when Hadoop was invented. It solved a huge amount of problem, but with the evolvement of big data, Hadoop is already quite limited for what is, let's say, stream of data and doing efficient machine learning on data. That's why the evolution with Spark is, is today is the hot tool for data scientists to deal machine learning for stream data and big data. That are the main assignment. Here is just reminding also, please read this in the syllabus. What is the grade of B? That this is, if you do whatever you are asked, this is the average grade in the graduate school. And this is not only for this course, this is for all courses, the whole graduate school. In order to get the grade of A, you have to go above and beyond. You have to do something original in the topic and discuss issue more on deep. So again, read the syllabus. You will see that there is the extension on let's say, later segment is very limited only in extremely needed situation. Why? Not because the instructor of this class doesn't want to give you extension, is because this class is very intense 6 credit course, and in order to get the maximum, if you miss 2 days already, you are going to have hard time to catch up. If you miss a week, you have to double and triple effort in order to catch up. So that is the main reason the policy of late assignment is so strict. But of course, we are human. We all may have problems, so don't hesitate to contact your instructor if something is going on and you are not able to submit your assignment on time. Always on before, not after. Not after the assignment is due. Do this contact to your instructor before the assignment is due. And make sure you post your question related with assignment, with the material. Most of them are relevant to every one of the class. So post them in the forum, which is Q&A in the classroom. Of course, you can, if you wish, you can contact the email faculty and TA, but this should be, I recommend, limited to something which is quite personal to you and is not it cannot interest anyone else in the class. Of course, the email are for this. Other than that, it's very useful in online class to post all the questions in the before going to question and answer, we have something exciting, new initiative in this class, and I would like to give the screen to Linish. Linish, do you have the presentation about the competition?
Oh, yes, yes. I'm going to present
Okay,
it
let me
as soon as
announce.
I get the screen.
So we are introducing extracurricular activity in this class. Whoever participates actively is gonna get 4% point toward the final grade extra point, which are going to permit you, of course, to get better grade. But the very important thing is that we understand that in order to ask you to do something above this very intense we have to reward you something. So the reward is for those of you who actively participate to this. Linish, go ahead.
Okay, sure. Thank you, Elena. So, guys, as I mentioned to you not too long ago, and I was at the same point as you are, and one of the thoughts that used to cross my mind, and it did at that point in time during this coursework was how I'm going to practice my skills, right? And what that I've learned and that I've found, and I've learned during this course and prior to this course, and this is where I kind of found the Kaggle platform, right? I know some of you also mentioned earlier that in your introductions that you were kind of wondering what you could put in your resume, and what are the things that you can put in resume. And Elena kind of just mentioned that, hey, all the coursework that you have done so far, all the assignments and stuff, they go in your resume as your actual practice or hands-on experience. This is another opportunity for you to kind of put up on your resume, right? I mean, this is one platform that can help you to hone your skills, to practice your skills, and see as many as you can. I mean, the data sets here are very powerful. Some of you may have already heard about it and may have already known and worked with some of the data sets. If you have done that before, great. If not, this is a wonderful opportunity for you to get introduced to this platform, that you can even embrace it even after your certification, your degree is completed. Okay, so we kind of are doing like a soft launch, as Elena mentioned. We kind of going to be having this competition set up, which already started today, and it will go on till the 6th of August. And this is a very simple data set that we have taken, so that you can you don't have to spend too much time going through it, understanding that you have so much already on your plate during the course. So we kind of kept it very simple. One of the data sets is the car evaluation database, which is a public data set, and you may have already worked with it before. If so, great. I mean, this is just we twisted it a little to kind of challenge you to, and also make it exciting, right? I mean, you're doing all the assignments, you put it up, you don't know until you get graded as to what your grade is. This is a little different. You kind of work on your model, work on this data set, and as soon as you submit it, you get a result back. You get to know how you did. You get to see how you're doing with the, with the others in your class are doing, or in this entire section, or this couple of sections within Data 650 are doing. So this is, kind of keep things moving and and interesting as well. So as far as the login is concerned, as you can see here up on my screen, the competition is completely private. So this is completely for you. This is for the 650 class, and you'll be invited to participate. Trust me, this is one of the competitions that's been around only, and it's being used by, as far as the competition goes within the college and universities, UMUC is now part of a very few college and universities who are making use of Kaggle platform for, for their coursework and curriculum. So, congratulations to Elena as well for, bringing this over at such an early stage within the program. And that's going to really help us. And I wish it was there in my time. I would have really worked upon and would have liked to have it. But I'm glad that, we kind of have now been able to introduce this. So as I said, you can read through the material. I'm not going to go through each of the pages here, but as soon as you get an email, you would be, that there would be login information in there that you can log in. It will be your email, would be your UMUC ID that's going to be used and would be, added to this competition. As soon as you add, it will walk you through some login information. And once you're logged in, you're going to get to this page here, which is going to give you and talk about what the competition is, and give you some more information about the source of data and so on and so forth, and also what the end date is, so that you know that the end date is 6th August. We'll keep you honest with that date, of course. The data set, you can click on this entire website here for the data set. There are 4 different data sets that have been provided to you in a CSV format. The first is the cars train.csv, which is the training set, and you have to use it for training the model. There's a cars test data set, which is the test set that you'll be using for testing only during the training phase. And then there's a cars hold validate data set, and this data set is the one that you're going to use it for submission. So no class information is provided here. So the class that you're going to, this is a supervised learning algorithm, by the way, a supervised learning kind of a problem, by the way. So there would not be, so there's a kind of it's a multi-class problem where you have to classify the class of the car, whether in what state it is, whether it's good or whether it's unacceptable or it's very good. So you'd be kind of coming up with those kind of responses. And for both train and test, you'll find that there is some information that you can use to build the model, to test the model. The hold and validate, and I'll get to the hold part of it. The validation is what you really be, to test your model. Now you'd be putting it up without knowing. So this is going to be a new data for you, and that you're going to submit. And how you're going to submit, what should be the format of the submission is given by the CARS sample submission. If you click and open the CSV file, you would know what format it is really required. And once you're ready, let's say, and you can use any tool you want. You have so many tools at your disposal now. We talked about, R, you can use anything else or any other, Bluemix platform, you can do Apache Spark. Sky's the limit. It's up to you to use whichever you want. But at the end, you need to kind of come up with that submission file that we're looking for. And once you're there with your submission, you can click on make a submission there. I'm just waiting to go forward here, but okay. So once you get to this page here, you have to just, click and just pick up your file, or you can drop it here. And there's some information here that should be a CSV format. We expect the solution to have 434 predictions. The file should have a header row, and so on and so forth. And you have to just click submit, and it will come back and show you the leaderboard. And the leaderboard would kind of tell you where you are, what has been your score. The evaluation method here used is the classification accuracy, right? So this is the benchmark here. The benchmark is based upon classifying the cars in a random manner, and this is the benchmark that has been established. And as you can see here, I've also uploaded one of my solutions here, which was pretty much the benchmark actually. So when I submitted it, it kind of gave me a score, and I'm being the only person so far. Yes, I'm in the leaderboard here. I'm number one, but very soon I know I'm going to be being pushed behind by solutions that you guys are going to put in or submit very soon. So here's some important information. As I said, what's the hold part in that data set, right? So 70% of your test or the validation data that you'd be submitting is actually calculated right away. So you'll get the score, and the score that you see is based on the fact that 70% of your submission gets graded right away. 30% is left for the last day. When the competition is closed, it applies the last 30% to grade your 100% of your submission. So your score changes on the last day a little bit. It may, or maybe more, we don't know yet. It depends on your solution, but it kind of makes things more interesting. So you could be the leader all along, and then on the final day things could change. And so just kind of keeping up with the excitement here. So, and this way you would also know how, what's the whole, why do we really hold some data back? And we can even talk to you about it pretty soon. Once we get to that point, we'll definitely tell you and kind of share with you and discuss with you, what's the hold and validation that's kind of used also in the industry. Okay. So,
Thank you.
so I think there was a
So
question from Kurt that, if you already have a Kaggle account, do you still use the UMUC account? I would suggest that you use UMUC account, because this competition only allows folks coming in with a certain email ID. So we'll be strictly using your UMUC account. If there would be a way once you get to the login page to merge the two, then please go. Then feel free to do that. But in any case, try to log in with your UMUC account, please. Okay, and I'll help you folks, along the process. If you see any issues, both Yelena and I would be kind of monitoring the discussion boards. Please put in information and put your subject line, in a way that it would be clear for us to, kind of get to you quickly. Okay. So this is a bit, and I know this kind of, we went through this very quickly, but we'll kind of still help you along the process. We'll get you some more information as per the questions or anything that we may have missed today. And we really, as I said, look forward to working with you. Any questions?
thank you, Linish. Everyone, please post your question in the chat. And the question are related with anything, because I don't see any other question regarding. No.
So I just saw one more question. When will we receive the email to enter the Kaggle competition? So you receive the email this week, so, and you can get started and as soon as you can. Okay, so by the end of this week, you'll surely see an email come to you.
Great.
Okay. All
Any
right.
other question?
Okay. If not, over to you, Elena. Thank you.
Thank you, Dinesh.
No question regarding Bluemix, regarding starting, regarding big data, regarding anything? Well, if no, oh, great, Ameha, you got the audio, perfect. I see. So whatever I can say, let's say I have just few more words. In the meantime, think about any other question. If not, I just would like to share our classroom and tell you that the classroom is full of resources, and suggest you try to log in frequently in the classroom, starting with announcement area, and always go down, because the announcement from before, maybe if you didn't log for a couple of days, there are some important announcements which you have to scroll down, or even to show all the announcements, which are going to show you everything from the beginning. So this is the first thing. Check the announcement. The most important things are there. In the content area, make sure you are in the course content, not only in the week itself, but we have many areas which are related, which are full of resources. So if you need to reshape your Python skill, which you studied in Data 620, here are plenty of resources which are not relevant, not posted in any specific week, because these are resources regarding to you have been exposed in the program previously. Some of them have different level of fluency, and this is for you to train yourself and to catch and to reshape your skill, either in SQL, in Python, on R, or you go to the course resources, not to the course content. Here are always also a lot of relevant resources. Don't hesitate to check at least and to know what is in the classroom. I'm not saying that you are going to read all of them very soon, but at least be aware what is there. In content resources, besides writing resources, you have very simple stuff like the email stuff, ebooks, a lot of stuff which can help you in addition to the traditional course content you've been having in each course. And of course, beside course content, keep in mind course content in each week you have lesson objective, required reading, and recommended reading, and then assignment. And look to the assignment from here, from the course content, because they should be some prerequisite like suggestion. Do this first before going to the assignment. It's very important. You read whatever is needed before jumping to the assignment. Otherwise, you actually are not going to get the full benefits. Not because you are not going to do the assignment itself. Perhaps you are going to do it, but you are not going to get the full benefits because you won't realize what you are doing and why you are doing it. So that's why follow this sequence: lesson objective, required reading, recommended, and then assignment. Any question? Here is a question: in which assignment we are using Python? Okay, when we go to Spark, machine learning library, you are going to use Python for Spark to program the packages, machine learning packages. Python or Scala, what we are not going to use another programming language like Scala. You are going to use Python. Then the big data versus smart data. So we are going to discuss this. I'm going to post the link, and think about that this is the evolvement of big data, the new paradigm to smart data, and it's actually what we are doing with big data, how we are getting more value for big data. This is the way to deal smart with the data. This is just a summary. Of course, we are going to discuss this in more detail in the classroom. And there is more about the project we are going to work together on. Okay, They are 4 projects. You are going to work individually. Together, there is no group project in this class. Okay. Um, so all assignment, I'm going to put here, all assignment are individual. The only thing we are going to do as a class are the discussions, and each discussion runs for 2 weeks. They are 5 discussions, and then and they are 5 discussion. These are the only, let's say, group activity as a class. In this group activity as a class, we are going to work not individually but in class in what is Watson cognitive application. So let me share the screen. Watson cognitive is on in the Bloomix, and what we're going to do as a class, week 2 and 3, going now is showing the the one which didn't open regarding the Siemens smart data. So you can open this, you can review this. What I'm talking now is regarding doing as a class discussion, exploring at least 2 or 3 of these different um, a different application for Watson cognitive, which are, for instance, personality insight, which are, let's say, smart application, um, tone analyzer, which is very interesting. What we are going to do is something like this. I'm on tone analyzer now. Okay. And I see many people are leaving. That's not a problem. We actually covered everything. And you, in Bloomix, you can explore anything you wish, and you can start with overviewing and looking for a demo. Okay? That is the main thing we are going to do as a class. Everyone is going to run some of the Watson application and going to post its finding and discuss what is this and what is working and what is not working. Okay. So let's see what other question. So yeah, I don't know, Linda, that was your question? Linda, did I answer your question? I don't know. She's not.
Yes, you did. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's see what other question we have. There is question regarding Tableau. We are going to contact and Elena is going to go back to you, Danny, how to do this regarding Tableau.
Yes, yes. What I did was I found the key and I just put here
Okay, perfect.
in the chat. I just put the key in the chat. I
That's
found
fine.
it somewhere in the 620 content. So yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Any other question, guys? If not, I guess this session was helpful to get you started. And don't hesitate, the most important. As soon as you have question, address your question wherever it has to be posted in the classroom. It has to be directed to your instructor, TA. If it's software tool, usually TA are very quick to get to you and to respond to you and to get you started, because this is normal. Technology is this way. We understand. Also in the cloud, like Bloomix, we have scheduled maintenance, and we are going to announce when we learn that there is some scheduled maintenance in the product we are using, so you can plan accordingly. Any other question? So just a summary, first assignment, we are going to use R In the second assignment, you are going to use different services plus RStudio. In the third assignment, you are going to use new tool, which is Big SQL, which is like SQL, but for big data, which is not exactly ANSI SQL. And in Spark, you are going to use Python. If no more, I'm going to end the recording and end the section, and wishing you successful semester.